Now it's time for Pound ATL.
Welcome to the show today, baby. This your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice, aka Jimmy Obama. And you can call me any one of those you like. But please don't call me no damn New Orleans Saints fan. That's my boy Big Mike over there in Atlanta. And guess what, baby? Seahawks is on their way. We real close. As of recording today, we about 17 days away from game day, baby. Y'all need to get ready to rise up. Y'all need to get ready to get excited because we finna tease y'all with a little bit of weaknesses on that Seahawks team and the scripts on the Falcons team that probably put us ahead of the game. And we already ahead of the game over here at Pound ATL. Please like, share, and subscribe. Big Mike, what's going on over there in Atlanta, baby? What's up, my dog?
Hey, man. Hey, like you said, 17 days. 17 days. Listen, hey, for all of you guys that listen, we listen. We talk. We talk Dirty Birds, and like I said, it seems so far away. When we first started doing this 7-8 months ago, all we could do is talk about the draft and talk about the build-up. But now, we get to talk a little X's and O's. We get to talk a little X's and O's, Jimmys and Joes, and I love it because, I was telling Jimmy before the show started, I said, hey, we really hype about AJ Terrell. I love it. I love him as a number one receiver, but it's really time to start looking at who will AJ Terrell see his first NFL game. What is that guy like? And what is that guy doing to make sure that AJ Terrell has a unmemorable rookie campaign, right? So we got a lot to touch on, a lot to talk about. And honestly, here's the thing. As much as I love to talk about the Dirty Birds, I like to talk about who we about to attack. So like I said, we got another good show, good week. P4P ATL, thank you guys for the live stream love. We appreciate it. Yeah. South America, Montreal, UK, you name it. Don't matter where you are. If you bleed black and red, y'all family to us. So we appreciate it, pound family. But anyway, man, let's get into it this week, baby.
Hey, man, let's get into it because Seahawks, baby, guess what? We are on our way. We are waiting. We ready we ready to get into this ring and get ready to punch it out. We ready to shoot bullet for bullet. We ready to go 5 for 5. And if you ain't ready, something gonna happen to you that day. You probably gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? You say Ali Boombaye, Falcons Boombaye, and let's get ready to do our thing. As of right now, the ESPN got it almost dead even in percentages on who's gonna win this game. As of today, on Thursday, they got the Falcons 52.1% chance of winning this game, and they got the Seahawks at 47.6% or 47.6% chance of winning this game. That's pretty much dead even. And if you look at this, Seahawks, Dan Quinn old team, Pete Carroll, no Dan Quinn, I can see how they're dead even. It's almost like who's not gonna make the mess up first. Now let's go back to 2019. Excuse me, that pound ATL. Let's go back to 2019 where they beat us 27-20 in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Okay, I give them that. First half, they was up 24-0. Going to the second half, we kind of made it into a game. Actually, if we had a little more time in that game last year, that's a dub, that pound ATL, if you ask me. Okay, in that game, Russell Wilson, 14 for 20, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, you got to stop Russell Wilson. That's their main head. That's the head of the monster on the offense, on their offensive side of the ball. Okay, let's get to see Carson. Carson had 20 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown. Too much. Grady Jarrett, holla at me. Tyler Lockett, 6 receptions, 100 yards. Too much for that little man. But we got somebody for you. Hello, Sheffield. How you doing? All right. On the flip side, on the back side of that, the little bit behind it, Short Penny, he had 8 carries for 55 yards. A little bit too much for the run game going on right there. C. Carson and Penny shouldn't hit you for that much. But we're going to get back to that. Okay, Metcalf. Okay, he had 3. I mean, he had 3 catches for 13 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns, and one of them was wide open. Hell, ain't with nobody guarding it. It wasn't nobody even around it. Hey, Mike, me, you, or JR, or Toby D, one of us could have caught that. So we gonna get into this thing. We finna get it figured out. All right. So in that game at the same time, let's go to what we had on the offensive side of the ball. Matt Ryan, 39 for 52. Good Lord Almighty. Dirk Cutter, 52 passes. Jesus Christ, man. We need to run the okay. I ain't finna go down now. Okay, he had 39 for 52, 460 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Devontae Freeman, Lord have mercy, 13 carries for 39 yards. You ain't gonna beat nobody in the NFL with no 13 carries and no 39 yards. Anyways, Julio Jones, 10 receptions, 152 yards. That's what the Jet Jones do. I mean, what more can I say? And I ain't saying it was more of them. I think it was more of us beating ourselves in that game.
That's right.
And then when we finally realized what was going on in the second half, it was a whole different ball game. They didn't score but 3 points in the second half of 2019, and we scored 20. So it was tails of two halves, really. All right.
That's right.
And I really believe Dirk could have learned a lot in this game. I think this was the game where he learned a lot and he grew a little bit more as a new age OC. Now listen to me, Pound ATL. I said a new age OC because he is stuck in his ways. He is Dirk Cutter. Matt Ryan still threw the ball 52 times in that game, and we only lost by 7 points. So, Mike, if in this show, this is our title, right? This is a mismatch. They on the horizon. They coming 17 days away. That ain't nothing. You can sneeze and look up. We ready to play. We got some mismatches and some stuff that's going on. It's almost a new Seattle type offense.
Yeah.
You want to hit on that defensive side of the ball.
That's right.
Give me some of your take on that, man. This game ain't that far away, Big Mike.
I mean, first of all, shout out to Jimbo Slice. Shout out to the statistics. I like the 52% to 47%, whatever numbers you kind of threw out there, because I think it's deadly accurate for my thoughts on the game. And I'll go into why, right? Because you might ask yourself, if you're a casual pound for pound ATL fan, you might just only focus on the home team. Shout out to you. I love it if you only focus on the home team. But guess what we do? We focus on the home team, but we also like to focus on the other guys on the other side of the ball, right? Excuse me. The other guys that's going to be looking, playing against us on the other side of the ball, right? So it's like, okay, you look at the teams, man, we're like, brother, it's almost like two cousins,
Yeah.
They fast and physical, we fast and physical, right? So let me run off a couple of these guys on this defense. So you got, left defensive end, LJ Collier, Jaron Reed, right defense, Jaron Reed, left defensive tackle, right defensive tackle, Puna Ford. Leo, it's a guy that we're very familiar with as a Falcons fan. Bruce Irvin, now the linebacker position is where I'm a little bit nervous. If there is one clear area where I say that they're head and shoulders above us, it's at the linebacker position, because they got two. I would consider one. I definitely think is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but the other guy definitely, if he got his invite to the Hall of Fame, it wouldn't surprise me, because those guys have had some of the most productive careers I've ever seen from two linebackers, and that's Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. But see, the other guy that I think really makes them a monster, a new monster too, is Jordan Brooks. Now Jimbo and I, we like Jordan Brooks, and hey, if you did the draft research on Jordan Brooks, he was actually one of the fastest linebackers in the draft out of Texas Tech. Sideline to sideline linebacker. He is a guy from the very first game that you will have to account for on the field, because, I think, you look at a lot of what he did at Texas Tech, and I think, he was just a tackling machine. I mean, I think he wore number one at linebacker. That just lets you know, hey, you got to be a dog to wear number one. Ain't that right, Jimbo?
That's right, baby. Shout out to the ones out there.
Shout out to number ones. And then like I said, man, safety position is another strength for these guys. You got Shaquille Griffin, and then you got the new addition that really made me a little bit nervous when they got him, and I hated it, because I think it's not a better fit for this guy, and that's Jamal Adams. And to round it off, you got Marquise Blair and Trey Flowers. So you might ask yourself. So I went through the entire defense, and you might think like, okay. I mean, a bunch of guys, right? What separates these guys from just any other team, right? And I think, like I said, we might ask ourselves, how can we attack the Seahawks? What is it that we can do to really make our presence known against the Seahawks? And to be honest with you, there's not a lot of gaps on the Seahawks defense. I'm going to be honest with you. The defensive coordinator, Ken Norton, he has done a fantastic job of building a defense that will attack you from multiple angles. They will play fast. They have NASCAR packages, the same as us. Again, like I said, it's really like the same team. But I think, where is it for us that we could really make a difference first game? And I think a lot of it comes with the offensive line. JR and I on the show on Tuesday, we spent a lot of time talking about, McGarrett. Spent a lot of time talking about Lindstrom. We definitely Hennessy. because we tried out a rookie in that first game, and I think that's going to be a really tall test for Matt Hennessy and Chris Lindstrom the very first game. Now, here's the thing. Now, where I'm comfortable is that I think Alex Mack will have, he will have Matt Hennessy ready for this game, but if there is one area where I think we really have to impose our will, I think it starts on the outside. And when you say on the outside, you think of receiver. I'm not talking receiver. I'm talking about the infrastructure outside. And I'm talking about these offensive tackles. Caleb McGarry and Jake Matthews are going to have to be able to stop the pass rush. Because here's the thing, like you nailed it. You nailed it. 52 passes last year. We were literally playing to the Seahawks stream.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Bobby Wagner, I'm KJ Wright, I'm smart enough to know that, man, these guys have thrown the ball 52 times. We just need to stay in dime. We need to stay in nickel. So looking at, even some of the backups for Seattle, Nico Thorpe, Delano Hill, these are guys that have been around their defense for a long time. So this really is a veteran defense. So you really don't want to play to veteran. You don't want to play to their strengths, which is like I said, their veteran leadership, right? So I think we're going to have to be able to stop the pass. We're going to have to be able to stop that pass rush extremely early. And Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry are going to have, I would say, almost the games of their life to make sure that, we stay at that 52%, because I think it's very possible. But again, it's not a lot. And, not a lot of times we pump hope into the Falcons. But this is a show where it's time to get a little real. Let's get a little real. It's time. It's almost time to strap it up in a real game, right? So we really are going to have to be on our game to beat these guys. But again, it's possible. Now, I cover the defense. What you got over there on that offense, man? What they look like over there? Oh, talk to me. What you got?
Before I move on to the offense, and like you said, that margin for error is really it's slim to none. We don't need no errors. Okay, I think whoever make the less turnovers in this game probably gonna win. And I ain't jumping on no predictions yet. Pound ATL, that is coming soon. Stay tuned, because me and Mike gonna give y'all some more the closer it get to game time, because we're gonna be getting fired up and we're gonna be ready to give it to you. Now, I'm asking you this real quick, Mike. Quick answer. Is you scared what you just said about that defense? And our offense, hell, ain't nobody messing with us in the league. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost got fired up a little bit. Ain't nobody messing with us in the league. Now, are you scared of that defense? Because I'm not. Are you a little bit scared of?
No, I'm not. The only area where I'm a little bit nervous, I won't use the word scared, because, like I said, we got a William Moore mentality when it comes to these dirty birds. And it's William Moore always ready. William Moore always ready. It's a war mentality. So we're not scared of nobody. Like, hey, you line up and you button up your chin strap, Matt Ryan ain't scared of nobody, man. Matt Ryan has played against these guys time after time after time, and he's actually come out victorious as much as he's lost, right? So I think at the end of the day, right, real quick, right, where do I think we have the biggest advantage at right now? And again, like I said, I go back to the offensive line, but I also think, like I said, this is a game where I really feel like Calvin Ridley will eat, because I'll be honest with you. I don't think the Seahawks are comfortable enough to allow Julio Jones to just beat them in single coverage. You know what I mean? They're not.
They're not. No, they better not be.
As long as you have to double cover the jet, Calvin Ridley is always going to be an X factor. And I look for Calvin Ridley, and I look for another guy who's making a lot of noise in this game, Russell Gage. Plays. Hey, but listen. I got one more guy that I think will make a play for you.
Christian Blake, what's up, baby? What's up?
Hey.
Go ahead. I know. Go ahead.
I got a special teams guy that I think is going to make his presence known out of the gate, and that's Chris Rowland, because I've heard great things about Chris Rowland.
Mighty Mouse.
Talked about Chris Rowland. Mighty Mouse is looking like he's taking hold of that position, and do not be surprised if we carry 6 receivers. Hey, Zakia, you on the team. Blake, you might be on the team. I saw something that Treadwell ain't really having the best camp as well, which is another thing. And again, Jimmy, you nailed it. I just knew Laquan Treadwell was going to be our number 3 receiver. But it was looking like, like I said, I think he might make the team because he's worth enough. But to your point now, like I said, look for Mighty Mouse to make a play first game, man. I book it. I feel it, because everything that we're saying is he's showing it in practice, and the coaches love it. Almost like yes, sir. They don't want to talk about him no more, because they know they know what we got. That's our punt. That's our punt and kick return. Anyway,
hey, you got to keep those secret weapons on the low. Down L, baby. So nobody will know what's going on. They ain't gonna see it until about the 4th, 5th game. That's when they gonna start preparing for it, and we be on the road. Okay, that's right. Dan Quinn, you got a 2-2 record against the Seattle Seahawks. You dead even there. So We need to see you make that jump. And it's the first game. This is the tone setter. This is almost a tone setter for that first quarter of the season, because Dan Quinn like to go by quarters out there. Pound ATL. He like to play by quarters. Even though quarters last year, he waited to the first quarter. The second quarter, he really didn't make no changes. And so I ain't gonna say my coach is lying, but he like to play by quarters, and that's foes and foes. So
that's right.
Look here, Dan Quinn. Don't wait till the second quarter of the season to start trying to get it in that first quarter. Let's make that move. First game is his tone setter. Like I say, 2-2 record against him. Now, you want me to jump on this offensive side of the ball, and I want to tell y'all out there, Pound ATL, the weakness I think is for the Seattle Seahawks. Actually, it's two. I want to say that offensive line and that running back core. I think those are the two weaknesses that we need to exploit or make, because you really can't exploit it. You need to make them be that one-dimensional. You need to make them be a running team, not let them throw the ball. Not let Tyler Lockett have 6 receptions for 100 yards. That's right. Eating right there. That's eating. That's big boy eating. That's eating that black eyed pea right there. He's in that black eyed pea and he eating really good. That's and we don't need Metcalf to have no three receptions for 13 yards. But that ain't nothing but 2 touchdowns. He don't need to eat us in the red zone. So it look like Tyler Lockett is getting us down now. And then Metcalf is closing us out. We don't need that to happen again in 2020. Now, that's what they did to us in 2019. Now, they could possibly have 3, maybe 4, even new starting offensive linemen. We'll go back to these running backs, but they could possibly have 3, maybe even 4. They probably even going to have a rookie might be starting in there. Now, if you got a rookie on that offensive line, kind of what McGarry went through last year, because this one not so much, kind of what McGarry went through last year, you can exploit that on the defensive side of the ball with a Dante Fowler, with a Chris, with a Harris, with a Tat McKinley. You can exploit that, a rookie. Now, out of that 3 out of the 4, they lost Devane Clowney on defense.
Yeah, they lost Clowney.
Really got to worry about it. He wasn't even doing that really anyways. So, with they offensive lineman that they lost, they lost Britt. Britt went to he's a free agent right now and still got a busted knee. He ain't even, ain't nobody even picked him up there. Okay, we got Fluker from Alabama. He's with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'm naming all people that started on their offensive line last year. We got Afidi or whatever. He's with the Chicago Bears. And then we got Fant, who's with the New Orleans, the New York Jets. So that's 4 they starting offensive linemen from last year. That's not even on the team. So when I say that, Pound ATL, I'm saying this: Grady Jarrett, Deontay Fowler Jr., Tat McKinley, these people, Marlon Davidson, if he could get himself on nice and rolling, or Harris. These people can eat off this. You can blitz this line like no other, because the more offensive line play together, the better they are. If you got a new group of offensive linemen trying to learn how to gel and play together, make calls and read each other, you got a problem. NASA or Houston, we have a problem. So if you're going to exploit anything on their offense, and I know Russell Wilson can like to move around and get his jiggle on and a male gigolo and all that old bull. I don't know, whatever. He can't escape too much. Not when you got a Debo Jones mirroring him, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna spy. Let's be real now. Deion Jones might be a spy that game for Russell Wilson because he like to use his legs, and he probably gonna have to use his legs a little bit more. Having a new 4 offensive lineman that started from here in 2019 gone.
Yeah.
Now, they new starter at center. They talking. It's BJ Feeney, and I like I said, he's new. If you're gonna have to work with a Damian Lewis, a rookie that might start for him, and this is their predictions. I ain't saying this is probably gonna happen, but this is closest. This is what coming out of their camp as of this week, y'all. And we're not jumping too far ahead because, like I said, 17 days away. But this is a great idea. Because we already over there at Flowery Branch, we already putting in installments. If y'all ain't know that. So if you put in installments, which they probably need to be putting in installments too. If they ain't putting in installment yet, they probably gonna lose against us pretty good. If they ain't putting in installments yet over there in Seattle, if they ain't putting in installments yet, it's gonna be a long game for them. So we are already doing it over there at Flowery Branch. Thank you very much. All right. So they got a Brandon Shell that probably gonna be at right tackle, maybe. And then we got Jamarco Jones and then the Phil Haynes that probably gonna be. And then you got Mike what how you pronounce his name? Mike
Are you potty?
out
Yeah.
of Potty out of Wyoming. I remember him. He was all right coming out of college. So you just got a new mix of offensive linemen, which I smell trouble. Okay.
Mhm.
Anytime you get a new mix of offensive linemen, you gotta smell trouble because they just ain't played in no live games together. We didn't have no preseason, y'all. Holla at me, baby. Oh, McGarry, Lindstrom, Mack, Hennessy is probably the only one, and Jake Mack. Them boys don't need no preseason game. They already don't play the full year together. This
That's right.
offensive line ain't played no full year together, and that's it. I smell smoke. Okay, the one Fowler Jr., who played against him twice last year in that division, should know how to get at him anyways, either way
There you
it
go.
go. But Russell Wilson, good luck, baby. You're gonna be running for your life. You're gonna be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. We might take it off. You might get busted up there, baby. Might knock some of that Jerry curl juice out of your head. If that soul glow in his head, boy got a good head of hair on it, don't he, Mike?
Nice look great. Nice look
But
great. Shout out
yeah,
to
he got
Sierra.
nice. That's shout out Sierra. But he got nice hair on his head. But okay, and then I'm talking about that offensive line not gelling together as a weak point. Then I want to go back to these running backs. Okay, we got Penny, Carson, both of them injury prone. You understand me? Now in 2019, they had good games for us. Okay, I can give them that for them. The 20 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Carson, that's beautiful. I wish Friedman would have did that on that day. But I take 20 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown out of any running back on any given Sunday and any day. You got a productive running game. Defense got to stay honest. And then you're gonna have Penny gonna give up. You got Penny that had 8 carries for 55 yards. Good Lord Almighty. So they had well over 100-yard rushings against us. But I still think that point, those guys are weak, one of the weak points on their team because they injury prone, Mike. And it's going to be hard for them to actually go hard against us because they're going to have that injury in the back of their head. And then they got an offensive line that ain't blocked for them before. They ain't going to be able to read the holes like they want to. They ain't going to be used to reading them holes. I hope they're doing a whole lot over there in Seattle over that on that practice field that by that lake. I hope they're doing a whole lot to try to
That's
get
right.
ready for the Atlanta Falcons here in 17 days. Now, is there anything else on that Seattle Seahawks team that might scare you, Mike? And I know Jamal Adams. I understand that. I know who you are, Jamal. But you still got to learn that defense. You still got to deal with that secondary. You still got to learn how to communicate with that secondary. And I read today that Carroll said he might want to blitz him a little bit more or whatever. Come on, man. If you're gonna blitz Adam, you better have another DB on that field because Cameron Ridley, Julio Jones, Russell Gage,
Right.
Hayden Hurst
Right.
is gonna eat you alive. If you jump out blitzing a safety against us, Matt Ryan, you're gonna get ate up. So is there anything else on that Seattle Seahawks team before we get into
Yeah.
close thoughts? Anything over there that might scare you, Mike?
Actually, you know what? It does, but I think that you know what I can talk about it scare me, but I got to talk about the counterpunch. You know, we could talk about what the punch is, and then we could talk about the counterpunch because I think, like I said, you know, I don't want to be too pessimistic about what we can or can't do against the Seahawks. But
Right, right.
they made a really important acquisition, Jimbo, that we got to touch on, and that's Greg Olsen. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that's right. They did get Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen, Russell Wilson. It's a connection to watch. But here's the
Yes,
thing: I do think we have a Greg Olsen buster on our team just because, and we don't talk about him a lot because, you know, he's kind of became one of the guys, and that's Deion Buchanan. It's Deion Buchanan because I think that having that versatility at linebacker, having a linebacker who can guard tight ends is something that we have not had the luxury of before. Now, if I see Greg Olsen, Cam Newton back in the days with our current linebacker situation, with our previous linebacker situation, I probably say, you know what, Jimmy, you're right. You know what? There's not much we can do with a Greg Olsen. But I look at our current personnel that we have right now, and I look at the depth that we have right now, and I do think that if you really go pound for pound, you know, and shout out to Pound for Pound ATL because you know we do everything pound for pound. You know,
well,
you
yeah.
know, I think if you really go pound for pound, I really think we're a better team. And to be honest with you, player for player, outside of the linebacker position is really not close because you can put all of their receivers in, put all of their skill positions, put the linemen, put the defensive linemen, put the linebackers, put the safeties, put the corners, everybody, and say, well, you know, where are they just head and shoulders above us? Other than the linebacker position, I can't really say there's another position where they're head and shoulders above us, because you can't really say on the defensive line that, because, here's the thing. Not true. Hey, pulling forward, Jaron Reed, I think are stalwart, stud defensive tackles. But but Grady Jarrett is better than both of those guys. Right? And you pair but Grady Jarrett with the Marlon Davidson that we thought we were getting. And let's be honest, pound for pound ATL. We got the Marlon Davidson that we thought we were getting. Listen to the coaches talk about him. Knee injury aside, that knee injury is temporary. And if it was a game this week, I guarantee you he probably would be playing. But they're resting him, they're taking it easy. And I think having the Marlon Davidsons as the year goes on, that's that gift that's going to keep on giving, because he's going to bring it every week. And again, if you look at the mindset of everybody else every week, and hey, listen, let's talk about the home team for a second. We gave y'all the Seahawks. Let's talk about the home team for a second. What did DeMonte Casey say this week? Man, that pass rush looked good. That's what he kept talking about. He couldn't stop talking about. That pass rush looks good. And it's like, what? It doesn't surprise me that the pass rush looks good, because, again, we got the right mix. Tosh Lupoy is doing his job. So if the pass rush looks good, that's a big shout out to the defensive tackle, that defensive line coach, which we have not had. Again, it's been a long time since we had a defensive line coach that's worth bearing. And I think those are the two guys. Listen, man, it's two guys that I think will help us win this first game. Tosh Lupoy, Joe Witt Jr. We talk about Joe Witt Jr. every episode, but look at AJ Terrell. Look at AJ Terrell, man. And I think next week we really need to look at the AJ Terrell that we're seeing in camp, with his focus, with what everybody says about him. And at the end of the day, man, how many rookies can you guys say outside of Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, how many rookies have come into the league, come into a Falcons training camp where we've said, oh, we know he's going to be a star? It's like Calvin Ridley. It's like as soon as he came to the Falcons, it was like, oh, yeah, he's a star. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I think AJ Terrell falls into that category, which is why, honestly, Jim, I'm really comfortable about him guarding DK Metcalf. Yeah, because you said three receptions, 13 yards, 2 touchdowns, hogwash.
One of those touchdown was a busted coverage. If you go back and look at the 2019 game, that Pound ATL, you'll see he was wide open, busted coverage. Like I said, me, Mike, JR, Toby D could have caught that. But go ahead, Mike.
But I mean, to your point though, you look at that, you're absolutely right. Busted coverage, but I think let me ask you a question. When is the last cornerback that you've seen that has truly played with swagger? I wait, bro. I'm gonna go to sleep, but I want you to wake me up.
Don't fall asleep on my. Shante Samuel mate. Good Lord, man. I'm talking about true DB swag though, Mike. We talking about true DB swag now.
I'm not saying right.
Here's
the thing now. I love a good gambler at cornerback. Let's be honest. Asante Samuel was a maverick at cornerback. Now, don't get me wrong, but he was not a lockdown corner. I think AJ Terrell has the ability to be a lockdown corner. Now, Jimbo, as soon as he got drafted, I said, you know what? Everybody's hating on AJ Terrell. But if there's a corner that I think his game mimics to me right out of the box, is Marshawn Lattimore. I just think you put him on the side of the field.
Yes, sir. You're right.
And they're going to make more plays than they don't make plays. So I think when you look at AJ Terrell, start giving him that respect that you gave Lattimore. Don't get me wrong. He's got to earn it. But give him that same respect, because all the players know. Jet Jones knows. And listen, Jet Jones don't sign off on nobody. If Jet Jones say you're a good cornerback, then you're a good cornerback.
End of discussion. And I put out on Twitter that they pass the ball more in college now than they ever did. A different era than the Deion Sanders and the Asante Samuels and the Hall and all those guys we don't have. They didn't see passing like a AJ Terrell have seen in college. You understand? What they're running in college damn near is what we are running in the NFL right now. This kid is almost prime for that. He done seen that. And he played against some good teams in the college football playoffs and then the ACC, where they are just throwing the ball more and more, and you got to be a better DB. You got to be a better DB in the game today. Back then, you really didn't have to, because they ran the ball more. Now, it's throw. It's pass all day long, all game. So DBs are coming out of college way more ready. They coming out of high school way more ready to defend the pass than we did in the past. If y'all get what I'm saying out there. So if you ain't not up to speed on college football, I'm gonna put you up to speed right now. They throw the ball more than they run the ball, and you can guarantee that. And AJ Terrell have faced it his whole time at the University of Clemson, from good to bad. And if they was bad, he made them look bad. You got to understand that. And then LSU just threw the ball better. So I think the kid is already prepared to be an NFL cornerback simply because they throw the ball more in college. Now, I'm gonna say this now: if we turn the ball over more, they're gonna win the game. If the turnovers are dead even, we win the game simply off our defensive line. Charles Harris, Kaminsky, you get ready to eat Kaminsky. These should not. I seen you a little bit, boy. I don't know, MIA, but defensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, get ready to eat with that new offensive line. 3 new starters, possibly 4 new starters on that offensive line. Y'all are about to eat in that first game. And everybody know, first game without no preseason game, man, them boys gonna be rusty as a fool. And our defensive line gonna be at full tilt with a Grady Jarrett, a Tyler Davidson, the Marlon Davidson, that already Kaminsky that already know what they doing. Tat McKinley know what he doing. Against some people that still don't know, because they got to communicate. Them people ain't gonna be ready, and we're gonna be able to eat. We need to blitz them until the blood come out. They know, and we're gonna blitz more because Dan Quinn came out there and said that.
So before you go, so when you talk about blitzing, one thing that I found out this week that I think is really interesting, that you know what, maybe this is a good way to send us home, because like I said, one thing that we talk a lot about Raheem Morris, but you know what, Jimmy, I think we have not talked enough about Jeff Obert, because one thing that I saw today is that on first and second down, guess who's going to call the plays? Jeff Obert.
Watch yourself.
Third down now is Raheem Morris. So you think about it, we sitting here hyping up Raheem Morris. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Raheem Morris. You earned everything that you got. Because third down is the money down, and you are a money coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that first and second down now. Let's talk
about
Mike,
that's kind of what they did the last 8 games of last year. Just kind of the same. This is the same model. I mean,
but it worked.
It worked. It worked because think about it now. If you're preparing for a team and you're a coach, and the only thing you got to do is worry about first and second down, you're gonna get your ultimate coaching. You're gonna get the ultimate coaching out of yourself because you only got to worry about 2 downs. After those 2 downs, it passed on to somebody else, and then it come back to you. That give you enough time to think about those 2 downs again. So you're going to be way more well prepared just calling defenses on 2 downs. And you're going to be more aggressive because you can't wait to run what you want to run on first and second down. And then you're going to hand it over to somebody else. And then you're going to sit there and you can't wait to run something new on first and second down. And then Joe Witt showing that, disguising that secondary and disguising that coverage. You're going to be able to eat, and Lord have mercy. Nah, we got to talk about the home team, that Pound ATL. I can care less about a Seattle Seahawks. You understand me? I can care less about a Russell. Look, Pete Carroll, I can care less about you. I can care less about them. It's more about what we gonna do on Sunday. We cannot beat ourselves, which happened a lot. But if we don't beat ourselves, we can beat anybody in the NFL. And anybody in the NFL will tell you that. As long as we don't beat ourselves, we can whoop up on some people, and we can whoop up on them real good, and we can open up a can, okay? Don't get this twisted, man. Seahawks, please do not get this twisted. Pound ATL. Me, Mike, JR, and Toby D are not worried about no Seahawks. First week, they got to worry about us. Like Deion Jones like to say, they got to worry about us.
That's
so
right.
We gonna be hey, man, we angry too. So it is what it is. They ain't angry. We are. All right, man. Probably get me fired up 17 days away. Y'all about to get me ready lit over here. And once I get lit up, you're going to see fire come from my head like Goku on Dragon Ball Z. I'll let me I roll over to these closing thoughts, Big Mics. And I'm gonna start it off first because I kind of got a little something on my mind, and they kind of buzzing around a little bit on Twitter. So I'm gonna get the closing thought real quick, Pound ATL. Y'all bear with me here now. So going into the season where they ain't gonna have no fans. Check this out, right? I seen JR put a tweet out that was pretty funny about this. Ain't no fans in the stands. Guess what they finna do? And y'all probably don't heard. They finna pump sound into the stadium. Oh, shit. Y'all pumping sound into the stadium? We already did that. We were kind of ahead of the curveball there, baby. We were kind of ahead of the game. But now I need to twist it, though. Once, after that month, we finna start filtering fans into games. It's only 1 month when we're going to pump old sound into the stadium. Now, everybody that want to make jokes out there with the Atlanta Falcons were ahead of the game and your team wasn't doing no better than ours when it came to fans in the stands. Buffalo Bills. I think I seen a Jet fan make a comment about that. You New York Jet, you definitely don't need to make no comments on that because y'all ain't have no many fans in the stands than we did.
Y'all went 6-2 towards the end of the season, just like we did. Okay, so don't even give me that bull crap. Ain't gonna tell me we're ahead of the game. Okay, we did whatever. If you ain't, hey, look here. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You understand me? I would do anything in this world to win a game. If you ain't doing that, then you ain't trying. Okay, we need to do anything. I want a Super Bowl in my lifetime before I pass away. Atlanta Falcons fans, Pound ATL fans, I guarantee y'all can agree with me. So go ahead and make your little jokes about the Falcons being ahead of the game by pumping sound into the stadium. Good for you. But when you run up on us, when ain't no fans in the stands, all we got to do is focus on you. You're going to get your head busted in. And please pump enough sound in the stadium to where we don't pump too much in there, because I want to hear them crying on the sideline when we busting their head wide open and Jet Jones and Deion Jones, them Jones boys, is running amok. Okay? So that's my closing thoughts on them pumping the head, the pumping sound into the stadium. All y'all NFL fans out there that got jokes about that on the Atlanta Falcons, y'all comment. If y'all watching this, comment below, holler at me, and I'll fix it straight. Okay? That's my closing thought, Big Mike. Holler at me.
Woo. Well, hey, look, man. Matty Ice talked about it. He's like, we tried pumping sound into the stadium, and that didn't really work out to us for too well. Right. Shout out to the Godfather. You always shoot it straight. At the end of the day, if you need anything, give me a shout, DM me, Godfather. We're gonna protect you because the season might get ready to start.
No question about it. Right? No question about it.
No, pound for pound, I'm sure y'all enjoyed the show. You know what? Hey, if you want to go to sleep on my closing thoughts, by all means, grab a bed, grab a mattress, go to sleep, because it's about to be boring, but it's about to be necessary. Let me tell you something. My closing thoughts this week is on a guy that I think is going to make an impact game one. But again, y'all gonna go to sleep on it. But guess what? I'm wide awake on this guy, and that's Sterling Hofrichter, our punter. Now listen now. When Dan Quinn said who stood out to him in the second scrimmage, he didn't mention Calvin Ridley. He didn't mention the Jet. He didn't talk about Dante Fowler. He talked about the punter. And he said the punter was deadly accurate. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. As much as we talk about the offense and the defense and who could do what, man, when you got a punter that can change that field position game, and when field position is always in our favor, that favors the home team. And I'm going to tell you something about the red and black this year. Y'all are going to learn to love this punter. And I'll tell you why, because I think the one thing I like about this guy is that, the weird thing is about this guy is that, Syracuse, you don't pay a lot of attention to Syracuse. It's why, how does a punter get in our closing thoughts? But it's like, again, one of the fans, shout out to Anthony Wright, he knows that he led all other punters in all the NCAA last year with punts inside of the 20, nailing guys inside of the 5. I really think that's just his specialty. And I think when you have a punter who, like I said, man, it's rare, even as a special teams guy, that they see this guy kick 2-3 days and it's like, yeah, this other guy that's competing with him, let's get him on my list. Hey, dude, you're a rookie. It's your job. Don't ruin it. And guess what? He's like, okay. And then he continues to get better. That's a guy, again, that's a 7th round pick that bears fruit. And I said this on the show on Tuesday, and I stand by this. This is the best draft that we have had since the Super Bowl. We will literally count on every player, probably with the exception of Jalen Hawkins, which, again, we could use him. Hey, I just haven't really heard a lot of buzz about you, but everybody else is doing exactly what we've done. Think about it, Jim. We got 4 guys who could potentially start this season, and Michael Walker included. He keeps growing. Why not start? At the end of the day, we love for it. But hey, if Michael Walker continues to grow like he is, I would solely expect for him to take that position because he's 6'3", 250 pounds. And again, he hits you, you stop. But again, shout out to Sterling Hofrichter. Shout out to our punter. Continue to do great things when that season starts. Continue to pin these boys deep. Give us the field position to let Jeff Ulbrich do what he do on 1st and 2nd down, and let Raheem Morris take us on home on 3rd down, so we can get the ball back to the Godfather, Matt Ryan. That's my closing thought, Big Jimbo.
Hey, and Mike, ain't nobody falling asleep on that, because every aspect of the game counts. And if you don't think special team counts and field position count, then you ain't watching no football. But I wish I can golf the way he placed that ball. I wish I had the accuracy and the placement of the ball like in my golfing game, like he can do with his punting game. And shout out to Sterling. You're doing a great job. If you got the coach talking to you and saying somebody 7th round pick, man, good God Almighty, all 3 games is a factor in winning. And I like to do whatever I can do to win. And if it taking a punter in the 7th round to put that ball on, drop it on the dime, change that field position, get the Godfather the ball back, we own something. So I'm loving that, Mike. Hey, you got to bring him up. He's on the team, ain't he? He's going to be starting, ain't he?
He's gonna be on our team. So shout out to that Ricky. Keep dropping them dimes, and boy, I can't wait to see you in that new Atlanta Falcon uniform. All right, Pound ATL. This is your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice, aka Jimmy O'Ball. You can call me anyone you want, but please don't call me no damn New Orleans Saints fan. That's Big Mike. This is Pound ATL. Shout out to JR. Shout out to Toby D. We are back. We ain't going nowhere. Season is close. Get fired up. Get ready. Get your gear ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get your beer ready. Get all that good stuff you like to watch them Falcon game and get it ready. Like, share, subscribe. You can catch me on. You can find me on Twitter directly. And some of y'all been hitting me up directly on Twitter, and I ain't got. He's been DMing me on Twitter, asking me questions behind the scenes, and I ain't got no problem about that. And if you, hey, keep doing it. I hit you, as you can see, I hit you straight back with a straight answer, just how I feel like it's supposed to be. Keep on hitting me up directly, but you can find me on Twitter if you don't know, at Jimmy Obama. That's at Jimmy Obama on Twitter. Plug your in real quick before we get up out of here, Big Mike.
Hey, man, real quick, it's your boy Mike Dub, MIKE_DUB. Follow your boy, follow back. Listen, Falcons Australia, Falcons UK, all y'all guys, man, keep following your boy, man. Like I said, I'm new to this, but best believe I'm true to this. So keep putting me in. If I don't follow you back, call me out, put me in the comments, all that good stuff. Always love Pound for Pound ATL. We love to do this, love to talk to y'all. And again, man, I can't wait till next week till we do this again, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out Toby D, shout out JR. This is Pound ATL. Me and Mike will see y'all next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hey, we in here, baby, and we ain't going nowhere. Atlanta Falcons is on their way. Dan Quinn, and we trust. Hey, wear your mask. Hey, rise up, baby. Adios.
Holla at y'all.